We're about to take you inside one of the most secretive places on Earth. Through the stories of those who lived it, we're gonna follow the grueling, decade-long journey of a woman inside the North Korean army. And her story, it starts right now. Okay, I want you to forget everything else for a minute. Right now, this is your reality. You're 17 years old, you're standing on the edge of your entire life, but that life is no longer your own. You see, in all the state propaganda, you and the other female soldiers have this beautiful name. You're called the flowers of the nation. It's this perfect patriotic image. But the truth? The reality is that these flowers are crushed long before they ever get a chance to bloom. Now, your service doesn't begin with some big patriotic calling or a desire to serve. No, it begins with a knock on the door and a demand that's disguised as a choice. And there she is, the neighborhood watch leader, probably the most feared woman on your block. She's not asking your mother, she's telling her. Your family has been chosen. You are needed to fill a quota. Of course, your mother tries to say no, to argue, but the threats, they come fast. If she refuses, your whole family's loyalty rating takes a hit, which means you're all under suspicion. But then comes the real threat, losing your food rations. And in North Korea, that's not just a threat, that's basically a death sentence. Right there in that moment, your mother has no choice. You have to be the sacrifice for your family to survive. So you arrive. It's this desolate base surrounded by barbed wire. This is your home now for the next 10 years. But before you can even think about becoming a soldier, they first have to erase the person you are. And the whole process is just brutally efficient. First, they shave your head. All your long hair just falls to the dirt floor. Then they hand you a uniform, a man's uniform, because women's sizes just aren't a thing here. You have to literally tie the waist with a rope to keep it up. And finally, your name, Sun Young, that's gone. From this moment on, you are number 47. That very first night, a senior soldier pulls you aside and lays down the most important rule you'll learn. Forget you're a woman in here. She warns you that the second you complain or show any pain related to being female, your life is going to get a whole lot worse. This isn't just advice, it's a threat. You know, the war against the enemy feels a million miles away. The real war, the one you feel every single second, it starts inside your own body, almost immediately. The starvation rations, the grueling conditions, they just start to dismantle you from the inside out. So what's supposed to get you through 14 hours of back-breaking labor? This. One small bowl of corn porridge and a couple slices of salted radish. That's it. It's nowhere near enough. You're just in this constant state of gnawing hunger and total exhaustion. And then, maybe 4 months in, it happens. Your body, completely starved of nutrients, just starts shutting down anything it deems non-essential. And the first thing to go? Your menstrual cycle. At first, it's absolutely terrifying. But then you look around and realize it's happening to almost everyone else too. But what if you're one of the few whose period doesn't stop? Well, the reality is just horrifying. The military supply chain is built for men. Things like sanitary pads, they're not even a consideration. So you're forced to use whatever you can find. Old rags, corn husks, or you just bleed through your pants. And if you think there's any sympathy, think again. One of your platoon mates collapses from severe menstrual cramps. And this is what a male officer screams at her. There are no painkillers. Her very real biological pain is just dismissed as a weak mind, a failure of discipline. You get used to the hunger. You get used to the labor. You start to think, okay, this is it. This is the worst it can be. But you're wrong. The cleaning, the laundry you do for the male officers, that's just the beginning. The real hell, it starts after dark. It's 2 years into your service, and then you hear them, the words you've been praying you'd never hear. It sounds like a routine duty assignment, but you know, and every other woman in the barracks knows, exactly what it really means. Before you go, a senior soldier pulls you aside and whispers this to you. And there's no anger in her voice, just this hollow resignation. She isn't just telling you what to do. She's telling you what's already happened to her. She's telling you there's no way out. So you walk to the officer's quarters. Your whole body is shaking. You knock, the door opens, and then it closes behind you.
What happens in that room is this silent horror, one that's repeated night after night with girls just like you.
And the years they just start to blur together into one long fight for survival. Time isn't marked by days or weeks anymore. It's marked by scars, the constant gnawing fear of pregnancy, being forced to smile and wave in military parades while you're in agony. 5 years in, 5 years, you're cleaning something and you find a small piece of a broken mirror. And for the first time in what feels like an eternity, you see your own face. Or what's supposed to be your face. You have no idea who is staring back at you. You're supposed to be 22 years old. But the face in that reflection, it's a stranger. Gaunt, broken. Your cheekbones are sticking out. Your skin is a mess. There's a gap where a tooth used to be. The girl who got on that truck 5 years ago, she's just gone. You put the mirror down. You decide you're never going to look again. And then, after 10 long years, at the age of 27, it's just over. No handshake, no thank you, nothing. They hand you some worn-out clothes and you walk out the gate. But you learn very quickly that just because you left the army, it doesn't mean the war is over. Not even close. When you finally get home, your mother, her hair now completely white, she just collapses and cries. And these are her first words to you. Not welcome home, not I missed you, but this cry of shock and grief. She can barely recognize her own daughter. You try to build a life again, but you find out that society has a new label for you. While the men who served come back as heroes, you come back as damaged goods. The whispers follow you everywhere. Everyone knows, or at least they assume, what happened with the officers. Your entire decade of sacrifice is now a source of public shame. In the end, you're left with this one final haunting question. It's the same one you and the other girls used to whisper to each other in the dark of the barracks. After a decade of malnutrition, trauma, and your body shutting down its most basic functions, you just have to wonder if the one future you endured all this for, a family, a child of your own, is even possible anymore. Your service is over, but you'll be paying the price for the rest of your life.